The Abkhazian Armed Forces is the military of Abkhazia. The Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of the Abkhazian Armed Forces were officially created on 12 October 1992, after the outbreak of the 1992–1993 war with Georgia. The basis of the armed forces was formed by the ethnic Abkhaz National Guard, created early in 1992 prior to the outbreak of the war. During the war, the Abkhazian forces, with the critical support from the Confederation of Mountain Peoples of the Caucasus, Cossack volunteers and the Russian regular military units stationed in or near Abkhazia, succeeded in defeating the Georgian troops. After the war, about 80% of the ethnic Georgian population had left or been removed from the territory controlled by Abkhazian authorities. Most of the weapons come from the Russian Airborne Division base in Gudurtad, others were captured from Georgian forces. On 24 November 2014, the Russian Federation and Government of Abkhazia signed a treaty of cooperation that assumes creation of united armed forces. Current situation: Georgia regards the Abkhaz armed forces as unlawful military formations, and accuses Russia of supplying and training the Abkhaz troops, partly in exchange for Abkhaz land or hotels. The Abkhaz deny this, saying they bought what they have on the free market except for 5 sea cutters received from Russia and speedboats from the Abkhaz diaspora in Greece. In March 2005, then Abkhazian Defense Minister Sultan Sosnaliev admitted that the senior and middle-ranking officers in the Abkhaz army are regularly sent to Russia for 2 to 3 month training courses within the framework of the Russia's Vistral program. Sosnaliev himself is a Russian officer from the Kabardino-Balkaria Republic and held the same post during the Abkhazian War, when Chechen field commander and militant Shamil Bashayev was his deputy. Similarly, former Chief of Staff Major General Anatoly Zaziev had previously served as deputy commander of the Transbaikal military district in Russia. Another top official, Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Pavlushko, is a Russian colonel and the former chief of staff of the Russian peacekeeping forces in Abkhazia. Georgia also regularly accuses Abkhazia of forcibly recruiting Georgian returnees from the Gali district into the armed forces. The Abkhaz military is primarily a ground force but includes small sea and air units. In 2006, an anti-terrorist center of some 200 personnel was created under the de facto Ministry of Interior. The de facto Minister of Finance estimated, in 2006, that 35% of Abkhazia's budget was spent on the military and police. On 8 May 2007, Minister of Defense and Vice Premier Sultan Sosnaliev resigned. He was succeeded as Defense Minister by First Deputy Defense Minister Mirab Kishmaria, in an acting fashion from 10 May, and permanently from 26 July onwards. On 14 April 2010, 5 Deputy Ministers of Defense were retired, including Chief of the Armed Forces Anatoly Zaziev. Aslan Ankvab was appointed acting First Deputy Minister of Defense and Chief of Staff. On 21 May 2010, Beslan Svishbar was also appointed First Deputy Minister of Defense. On 29 March 2011, Vladimir Vasilchenko succeeded Aslan Ankvab to become the new, permanent, Chief of Staff and First Deputy Minister of Defense. On 18 May 2015, retired Russian Army General Anatoly Krylov was appointed Chief of the General Staff by President Raul Kajimbar. List of Chiefs of the General Staff Military Leadership Organization. Army according to the authorities of the Republic of Abkhazia. The Abkhazian land forces are organized along the Swiss model. In time of peace they have personnel of 3,000 to 5,000 and in case of war further, 40–50,000 reservists are called out. They are authorized to keep registered weapons at home. Navy. The Abkhazian Navy consists of 3 divisions that are based in Sukhumi, Ochimchira and Pitsunda. 4 ships project 1204 Schmel class PBR, 657,658, and 328 were transferred from the Russian Navy in the late 1990s. An additional ship XAK 527 was also transferred and cannibalized for spares. The 3 Abkhaz ships did not take part in the 2008 South Ossetia conflict, but their state was unclear. As of 2005, the first 2 of them had 1 PSKA Project 1400M Griff class PC speedboats each. The Navy also includes several civil vessels that were equipped with guns and unguided rocket artillery systems. Novosti gives the following naval figures. Over 20 motorboats armed with machine guns and small-caliber cannons. Air Force. The Abkhazian Air Force uses Russian and Soviet-built aircraft. It is a small force, which numbers only 7 aircraft, 3 to 4 helicopters, and 250 personnel. Equipment. The exact numbers and types of equipment remain unverifiable, as no thorough international monitoring has ever been carried out in Abkhazia. Novosti gives the following army figures. 10,000-strong Abkhazian self-defense force wielding 60 tanks, including 40 T-72s, 85 artillery pieces and mortars, including several dozen with a 122 to 152 mm caliber, and 116 armored vehicles of different types. Also has numerous anti-tank weapons ranging from RPG-7 rocket launchers to Concours M anti-tank guided missiles. Given the status of Abkhazia and recent armed conflict with Georgia, a variety of equipment has been utilized by formations of the Abkhazian military, including inherited Soviet equipment, donated Russian weapons, impressed civilian gear, and items captured from the Georgians. For aircraft, see Abkhazian Air Force combat vehicles, artillery, infantry, weapons, Russian troops. Russia maintains a 3,500-strong force in Abkhazia with its headquarters in Gudautar, a former Soviet military base on the Black Sea coast north of the capital, Sukhumi, under a September 2009 agreement on military cooperation. The Gudautar base hosts Russia's 131st Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, equipped with at least 41 T-90 main battle tanks and 130 BTR-80 APCs. Bibliography. 13 October 2001. Civil, G. Tbilisi, 4 January 2005. 25 July 2005.